Good evening, everyone. Can y'all still hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good deal. It is 7 o'clock Confederate Standard Time, so you know what that means. It's time for your weekly episode of SCV Chat. Before we get started, as usual, the views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of the SCV, HGEC, any division, brigades, camps, or other subsidiaries, strictly those of us who are expressing them. And hey, how about that? I got the disclaimer out without messing it up too badly. Before we get really kicked off, I do want to say it's great to have Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief Jason Bo Shears back with us again. We love us some J-Bo around here. Or T-Rex, I should say, as the Army of Tennessee has named him. Good to have Moose. Good to be back for a second week in a row. My private schedule has kind of cleared out. In fact, today was the first real day off I've had in over a month. And show you what I did. I put out some fires in the Mississippi Division front, and I lit some fires. And I've got a Boston butt smoking right now. And J-Bo, I'll save you the bones from the butt. Before we really
butt bones.
Yeah. Better than the brisket bones, right?
Yep, better than the brisket bones.
Before we get kicked off, it was announced a couple of weeks ago. He put it on his personal page, but I do want to give a shout out to the producer formerly known as Moose. Moose has been in the organization now for 10 years. So congratulations, Moose. Proud of you, buddy. 10 years down, 50 more to go.
You said formerly known as Moose. Is he not known as Moose anymore?
No, as in like in a formal setting, he's Moose.
Oh, not formerly known.
Yeah,
formal.
Yeah,
not formerly, but formal. Okay. So if we were to be sitting around sipping tea with your pinky out, we would still call him Moose.
Exactly.
There you go. Oh,
that's the only way you can do it in polite society.
Yes. With your pinky out.
Yeah, pinky out, he's Moose. Normally, he's just, hey, fetch me another Jack.
Yeah. And congratulations. 10 years is a great milestone. Way to go.
Yeah, I celebrated with my camp. A lot of them were there when I was a cadet in 2007, I believe, and I became an official member in 2011. And to see the look on their face when my father, who was our camp commander, stood up, and he was like, he gave me the pen, the 10-year pen. To see the light go into some of my camp members' faces when they realized I've been in for 10 years, that was kind of priceless. I went up to one of our charter members and messed with him. And I said, did you see the pen Dad just gave me? It says I've been in the organization for 10 years. And he said, congrats. And he does, oh, wait. It kind of hit him off. Because it's been a great 10 years, and it's been an amazing 3 years since meeting GCB, and my SCV life, so to speak, took into overdrive. I've always been a big camp guy, but when I met GCB, I became a division, an army, and a national guy, and I can't thank him enough for that. I can't thank enough my father for getting me involved in this organization that I've just fallen in love with. And I'm happy for these 10 years. And yes, as Connor says, just 50 more to go. Just became a life member of the Mississippi Division. That's how I kind of celebrated it.
And these old farts like me and J-Bo, we ain't gonna be around forever.
I think you're right. We're probably not going to be around forever, but we're going to be around for a while.
Oh, wow. Exactly.
They're going to make my life interesting for a while.
Yes. Yeah. You volunteered, buddy. You volunteered. Really quickly, before the show began, I got a call from our residential music expert, Carl Rarefroppen Jones. And he wanted to give a shout out to a gentleman, some of y'all may be friends of him on Facebook, named Buford T. America. He does a music show on Saturday nights on Facebook. It's promoted on his Facebook. It's like the Bluegrass and Country Jamboree or something like that. Not sure the full title. But they actually played one of the songs that Carl wrote this past Saturday, and Carl listened into it and said it's probably one of the best Southern music shows he's ever heard because it covers all genres of Southern music. So if you remember the episode we did with Tommy Daniels a couple months ago, where we talked about Southern music and just how much impact the South has had on Southern music, re-listen to that before you go to listen to Buford's show, but go and check him out. Carl's going to be sharing the information in the chat at some point. I know he's watching because I just saw his name come by a second ago. So just be looking out for that if you're looking for something to do on Saturday nights. The other thing that we wanted to talk about really quickly was our chat heads. We love you guys. We know you guys love us. But we have been hinting about a way for y'all to be able to donate and help support the chat. What?
Oh, you were like, we know that y'all love us. And I was like, a little iffy on him. This guy to my left right here.
You talking about Little Rob?
No. I love Little Rob, even though he scared the crap out of me when I came on scene tonight.
Anyway, we do love y'all, and y'all love us. Love me, damn it. Sorry. But there is a way now for y'all to be able to donate and help our cause as well as the entire cause of the SCV out. Moose, if you can bring up, share the screen, we're going to walk y'all through the steps really quickly on how y'all can donate using the SCV's website and be able to help us as well as help the entire cause out. So let me know when you get on there. And while you're doing that, I did see that Miss Gina Dixon, the Missouri UDC president's on the chat tonight. Thank you, Madam President, for being on. I believe I met you during the May 1st National Pilgrimage to Elm Springs. I believe I met you then. Anyway, as I was saying, if you go to the SCV's homepage, go to the homepage there, Moose. Which, if you don't know the SCV's website, it's scv.org.
It's loading. It's going to take a second. There it is.
All right, you'll see on it's to my right, looking at the screen, but the battle flag that says Donate Now. If you'll click that, it'll redirect you to the page we were just at, which shows you how you can donate to the multiple funds through the SCV. So there's the Confederate Air Force flyover. Of course, that's something that's with Make Dixie Great Again, where they're flying over the giant flags. Of course, you can donate to the Confederate Legion, which we encourage everybody to do. There's the Museum Fund that I believe J-Bo will talk about later, as well as some other projects with the museum. The Relief Fund, which J-Bo, really quickly while we got you, what does the Relief Fund do?
Let me unmute here. What the SC Relief Fund does, as you know, some of our members go through some difficult times when we have the storms hit. You know, we've had several hurricanes come through Mississippi recently and Louisiana over the last handful of years. And what this does is if you donate to this relief fund, they will make a donation to other members who have had some trying times due to all the inclement weather, whether it's tornadoes, hurricanes, mudslides, whatever. You know, anytime that there's a natural disaster that happens and they need some help, this is one of those wonderful things that you can do if you've got a little bit of extra money and you're worried about helping your other brothers out. Anytime something happens, members can ask for relief, and they will get relief. So,
yeah, didn't we make a huge donation with it back when Commander? I think it was Tom Strain was commander in chief. We had the wildfires.
Yes.
But up in Tennessee, there was a lot done through there. There's the Forest Home Fund, which restoring and keeping the Bedford Forest Boyhood Home there in Tennessee. There's the Bicentennial Fund. There's if you're from overseas and remember overseas dues, but the Heritage Promotions Endowment is what I believe it needs to go through. And if you click on the donate button, right there, it'll redirect you to the PayPal page. And Moose is going to bring that up. Any second now. It'll be back up in a second.
It doesn't switch with my tags.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, there it goes. Tags, my tab.
And then you put in your amount and whether you want to donate from PayPal or from credit card. But if you see right there where the pencil is on the screen, it usually says, put a note, put SCV chat on there, so that we know that those funds are earmarked for the chat, so that when we can, don't put Moose as your favorite on there. It may not go through, but SCV chat. That way we can keep an eye on how much is coming in, so we can offset our expenditures and stuff like that. And that's for stuff like paying for our StreamYard so we can broadcast here on Facebook as well as on YouTube. Eventually getting our website, finally it's finished, but getting it linked and getting the professional help on that, as well as, upgrading. And we've got some plans on going to some places and doing some things that it'd be nice to help us out with. But if you want to, if you want to help us out, you can do it through that online. It's the easiest way for you to help keep us going. So we got that. That was mine and Moose's big thing for this evening. So yeah, you can actually take that down, Moose, if you'd like, and we can go to all three people's panel. But the Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief, who is big on Hearth and Home, wanted to talk about some interesting things that we've got going on at the Confederate Museum, as well as the grounds at Elm Springs. Right, J-Bo?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. First thing I want to say is, which one do you have ready to go first, Brother Moose?
I can get the bricks one up right now if you want me to.
Okay, take your time, bring her up. We're going to talk about the bricks and the pavers. This is something that we started well over a year ago. This is where people can do, and you scroll out. Well, did I send you the wrong thing? Well, that's where we're going to start and build. I meant to send you the form for those. There's a form you can go on and you can fill out, and you can order bricks. I thought I had sent that to you, Moose. If not, I'll see if I can send one of the other ones. This was one of those that we started, and it started off like gangbusters, and it has since just flat out flatlined. We're only having a couple of them come in at a time. Right now, we don't even have enough to place an order. So we need, I thought that bricks and pavers form was out there somewhere. I'll try to get it back out there in a minute.
Is it on the documents page?
No, well, it should be. It should be out there. It should be. You can also be able to find it on Facebook somewhere. I've seen it all over there. But we have, this is everything that we were planning on doing and how we're going to work them up. But we really need people to start doing these because we have just flatlined on it. We don't have enough to place an order. So people are asking, when are you going to get my bricks out? When are you going to get my pavers out? Go into the forms and documents. The thing is, we don't have enough to place an order. As soon as we get enough to place an order, we will.
Moose, scroll on down just a little bit so we can see the picture while you're looking on the forms and documents page, okay?
Yeah.
Well, up the picture of the walkway, and then we'll go down to that.
There you go. Good job, Moosey. Good job, Moosey.
J-Bo, what's the game plan for this? If somebody orders a brick, what is the game plan right now?
Well, it's everybody that has ordered. Some people have ordered individual ones for themselves. Some people have ordered them as kind of a camp project or a division project. Some of them are wanting to be grouped together, either by family or by camp or by division. What we're going to do is, if we get them in a group together like that, we're going to put them as a group. We want to order all of them as that and then put them in that way. If you are at the reinterment, where Moose had that first drawing, the one that is on the top, that is leaving from the walkway and walking out to the Looney Family Cemetery. We're planning on starting, if you're walking out across there to the right as you're headed down toward the museum, and we're going to build a circle around like a walkthrough and then walk up to it. Yeah, there's Chuck McMichael coming in with that. And you walk around, and you can walk from the museum. You can walk over to the cemetery. You can walk and see Simeon Cummins, and you're eventually going to be able to walk out to where Forrest and his wife are buried, and then back to the house. This is just a way for people to remember their ancestors, and we figure that's a great way to do it. And the Chuck McMichael had this plan, and we talked about it last year at Jacksonville during the National Reunion. We have 70 acres out there, and we can have different walking trails in many locations. So this is something that, even though you buy one now for your ancestor, and let's say that you find another ancestor a year from now, you can buy a brick for them, and it can be in a completely different location on the walkway itself. So the plan is, we need at least 200 bricks. Let's get our order in, and then we can start. And we're going to start right there in the center, start building from that. And we're going to plant a tree in the middle with flowers around it, and then that's just going to be kind of our walk around right there, and then branch out from there. You'll go from the walkway that leads from the museum up to the house. I call it the Yellow Brick Road because it just kind of wanders out through there. And then I was going to break off from that and go over to the museum, and then over to the cemetery, and then over to Forest. So, but people are asking, when are my bricks going to come in, because they ordered them a year ago. And the thing is, we just don't have enough to place the order. Order bricks, guys, so we can get these things out there. This now's past the time. So you can do the bricks, you can do the pavers. Let's do it. This is one of those beautification projects that we have talked about. We have the benches, which is also part of that forms and documents. Right now, there's the walkways of remembrance. And then we've got the benches. The benches right now, I'm really not pushing very many of those because, well, right now, we're waiting on product. We're waiting for the quarries to open back up to where we can get enough because we have 11 benches on order right now, and we have not had any of them show up. I talked to the gentleman. He says he's got the order placed, and as soon as he'll get them, he'll get them to us. But we have not. We haven't got the first one of those in yet. So those are something that a camp can go together, or a individual and do that. So, but we got 11 of them on order, and that's part of our beautification deal. And then we have a couple. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and make sure I'm reading this right, because I'm wearing my glasses, but for me on my phone, the font's still kind of small. A 4x8 brick with 3 lines, 21 characters, including spaces. That's $50, right?
Yep.
And the 8x8 brick with 6 lines and 21 characters, spaces including, that will cost $100.
That is correct.
I'm guessing the 8x8 is the paver?
Yes, that is the paver.
Well, with Christmas coming up, what better gift to give somebody than is their ancestor, or in some cases family member, forever memorialized at the headquarters of the Sons of Confederate Veterans.
And wonderful you said it the way you did, and you're right. Now is a perfect time to do it. Now that we know exactly where Forest is going to be, and we know approximately the size of what we're going to be building out there, now is a good time for us to start. And this winter will be a great time for us to start that walkway. It'd be nice if we could get 2,000 bricks to come in and for us to start building the sidewalk. Now we're going to make it wide enough. We're going to make it comfortable enough. You're not going to see this little thing right here, just people are going to be able to walk around there. We're planning on having benches that will set along the walkway as people donate those and purchase those. Now it's just a perfect time to do it. Everybody's putting great ideas on here. And yes, SCV members who have passed, the ones that I've done are actually my uncle who served in World War II. I put his unit and all of that he served in World War II on his. And my grandfather, my mother's father, never served, but I wanted his name on there because his grandfather served in the Confederate Army, and he had a son that served in World War II. So there's so many ways for everyone to do this. All of us, if we really think about it, we could purchase 24 bricks each for the people that we know that we've lost, that we want to remember. I've had somebody that wanted to memorize that wanted their pet memorialized. And I think that's a great idea. There's some people that that pet is their child and they treat it like their child. And, there's so many things that we can do with this. It almost, by now I was expecting to be on my third order or fourth order, and I haven't even got the first order enough for the first order yet. So
can they engrave a microphone on it?
Sir?
Could they engrave a microphone on it?
I know where you're going with this. Is my sad part.
Probably that's something we can find out. Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
I mean, if they can do that, I'm just
saying.
I'm just saying.
Just saying. Yeah.
We may be memorialized after all, boys.
Yes. We'll get one of these big old pavers and just put SCV chat right in the middle of it. But guys, ladies and gentlemen out there, and I see ladies are on here keeping up with what we're doing. There's plenty of opportunities. By now I would have thought we would have had 2,000 bricks, and we haven't filled out the order for 200. So come on, guys, let's go ahead and get this going. And we can do this. We can make this happen. Now's the perfect time to do it. Help us do it, because this is our heart. This is our home. This is our place. This is where our ancestors and the things that they went through are going to be memorialized. And it would be nice at some point in time for your children or your grandchildren or your children's children to come out there and see your name on one of those bricks. So.
Right, and also, if I can interject for a moment, standing out there behind the cannon line at the reinterment, which I've thought this ever since my first trip up to Elm Springs, the grounds are absolutely beautiful out there. And this is a way for us to be able to give back to the community with a safe, beautiful walking trail. I mean, essentially is what we're creating, where our ancestors can be memorialized, but also the people of Murray County can come to headquarters. They can walk around. They can enjoy the green space, fresh air, everything like that. And when they do, they can learn the true history of the South.
Yes.
I mean, it's a win-win-win.
Yes. And I was there at HQ today, and I was talking with Eric Pravetti, and so far there had been, as he said, 10 couples that had come through. Now, this is the time of year where you're not going to have, this isn't a big tourist season. I mean, you're talking right before Thanksgiving. So you've got some, husbands and wives retired that's out traveling. It's a perfect opportunity at that point, for why can't they buy one? Because there's times we have recruited people that have shown up to do the tour, find out that they have a Confederate ancestor, and we sign them up to be a member in Texas. There was one that we sent back with his stuff. We found him, found out, sent his paperwork back with him to Texas to join the local camp there. Why couldn't he, go ahead and buy a brick or a paver? The locals, even if they do not have a Confederate ancestor, let them buy. Let them go ahead and buy one and just put their name, their parents' names on there. Let everybody enjoy this. And Gina Dixon is right. Miss Dixon is correct. That's why we're on here talking about it, Miss Dixon. It's time to get rocking and rolling. So
Sean Hill has a great idea, and I may bring this up to my camp ourselves. Just put your camp name, your camp number, and your charter date on one. $50. I mean, even if you have a camp meeting of 5 people there, I mean, I'm lucky we usually have 80 at ours. But if everybody just chipped in, $10 at a meeting of 5 members, you got a brick covered.
Yeah. I mean, this is something that I thought would take off like gangbusters, and it did. And I'm going to go ahead and take some of the blame from this. Probably not promoting it enough and not pushing it enough. Some people see it. They say they're going to do it. They didn't do it for a week or 2 or a month or whatever, and they never get told about it again, so they kind of forget. Or they just one of those things they kick back on put on the back burner and just let it go. So, this is one of those things that I'm asking the chat heads, promote this. Take this to your camp meeting. Take this. So many of you are going to be having Christmas parties throughout this time, brigade Christmas parties or camp Christmas parties. And then we're going to go into the Lee Jackson season starting after the first of the year. Go ahead and plan on taking these to your Lee Jacksons and promoting them there. So you have plenty of opportunities here. So I'm asking the chat heads if they will take this on. Let's get it out there.
And to reiterate, because we have a lot of people who are joining in late, the 4x6 bricks are, is that correct? Or no,
4x8.
Yeah,
4x8 are 50, and 8x8 are 100.
And the reason why they haven't been put out yet is because we haven't had enough for an order. But we need people to get on there and start ordering it. Yes,
get on there and start ordering. That way we can at least place our order. Yes.
Yeah.
We were kind of heavily involved in that. Seemed like I remember that happening just a month or so ago.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like it. I mean, I still have to pinch myself and make sure I wasn't dreaming about that day.
It's one of those things that today I didn't walk out there, but for the first handful of times I went back down Springs after that day, I always had to walk out there. And now that they poured the concrete over there, over the 2 graves, all you have right out there now, and I don't know if I've put pictures out there, and if you need to see them again, I'll be happy to put them out over the graves. They have put a concrete pad over the graves, and they took their headstones that were at Forest Park and they placed them in that concrete. They're on that concrete pad, but that pad is not going to be supporting the pedestal and the equestrian statue. That's going to be built behind it. So this was just pretty much the graves are going to be out front, and then you're going to have the pedestal and the equestrian statue. So this was just it's one of those things that every now and then I really think about it, and sometimes it seems almost unnatural. I'll have to talk to Paul Gramlin and see why he just said that up about us being so involved in it. We pretty much lived it for 3 years, isn't that right, Legend? 2 or 3 years we lived it. So
I think it was in response to the we got busy and didn't push him is why he said that.
Yeah, and he's right, but it's one of those things. I still should have said something. As much as I run my mouth, you would think that at some point in time I would just say, okay, bricks and pavers, and we did talk about them for a little while. Not this past summer, but summer before, the summer of 2020. And then we just kind of plateaued with it. And since we stopped promoting it, they slowly stopped coming in. So you're going to hear me talk about this quite a bit. And I'm going to encourage y'all to do the same.
And I'm going to step on some toes here for a second, but we shared where you can get the documents online for the order form. But you know where there's always been an order form? In your veteran.
Every one of them.
Every one of them. So go read your veteran.
And there's a few people that write articles that go in there.
Yeah.
The Legend wrote a great one on the forest reinterment that was out in this most recent one. Larry McClooney, our commander-in-chief, he does a great little article each time. Donnie Kennedy's got one. And some fellow by the name of Herman White, our Reverend Dr. Herman White, who I call him Uncle Herman, and I'm trying to get him to adopt me. But he
sounds familiar, Dad.
What'd you say?
I said that sounds familiar, Dad.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Uncle Herman to adopt me, and read your veteran, guys. This isn't arbitrary. The things that go in this, we're just not going, okay, let's just, throw a little stew in there and create something. This isn't a casserole. This isn't just something of what's left over in the freezer. This is something that people put some thought and some effort into. I'm going to tell you right now, it's the toughest thing I've done. I can come on here and I can sit and I can talk and that comes kind of natural, but to sit down and write that article, and right now I've got one due now. And I believe the day's the 15th day of the month. So that means I'm 15 days late. And it's something that I've got to get out there and I've got to get done. But it's an awful, terrible thing to write. And it gets written, it gets rewritten, it gets chewed apart, it gets thrown away, it gets started over again. Because you won't, if you're going to write something, write it worth something. Just put some effort into it, put some thought into it, put some heart into it. Don't just sit down and say, well, I got an article to do and just start scribbling stuff out, kind of think about it. And it's an awful tough thing to do, awful tough. So.
And I tell you, our editor-in-chief is one of the unsung heroes in our Confederation.
Yes. Yes.
Frank
Powell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Frank Powell's something else. And tell you what, he's one of the coolest guys. I will run late. If you've ever read my article, I've only gotten one article in on time. Okay. I'm habitually late. And he is so cool when it's about that. I sent him one several times ago, and he goes, well, I thought I was just going to have to leave it blank. He said, all I was going to do was put on there something about he didn't get one turned in, So it's, I wanted to say, why didn't you rerun one of my old ones, And he probably would have did one of the first ones I ever did, which was probably one of the worst ones I ever did. So it's just a tough thing to do. And you have to do it every other month, or you get to do it. I hate to say have to, but it's something you get to do, but you got to do it on a time frame. And it's hardest thing I've done. So yeah. And then try to make it relevant, because now I'm writing it here in November. It's actually due at the 1st of November. So you're writing it at the end of October, and it's going to come out in the January, February. So, I can't see 15 minutes from now, much less 2 months down the road. It's tough to foresee that far. So yeah. And there's something else I'd like to talk about if we got a few moments, or do y'all want to go ahead and run a commercial?
Yeah, let's run a commercial. We'll run one of the because we're talking about the museum. We'll run the museum commercial. Do the second half, and we'll be right back.
Just the second half, not the full.
Yeah, just the second half, not the full.
All right, I got it.
There is a place nestled in the rolling farmland of southern Middle Tennessee. And inside are the stories of heroes and heroines, stories of battles won and lost, stories of sacrifices made by the people of its native soil. A place that will tell the true and complete story of the Southland and the war fought for its freedom. From the causes that led to the conflict to the modern-day struggles to protect Southern history. Historic Elm Springs and the Confederate Museum at Elm Springs, a place where the story of the Southland and its historic struggle is preserved and told. Come and discover your history.
Yeah, that's Moose's daddy that's doing the talking with that. And there's been a couple of things I've been asked about lately, and that's the next commercials we're going to do. And right now, there's this little thing that we just went through, and we've talked about it a little bit, called the forestry interment. And there's going to be a DVD coming out about it. And our editor that has done the videos for the one you just saw there and the other ones he's done, Jamie Matthews, he's done all of them for Larry McClooney. He just did this one. He did the forestry interment. The DVD for that, we're hoping is going to be ready to go in time for Christmas. Now, I know that we're getting toward Thanksgiving, but right now, after talking with him, really pushing to get this out by Christmas. We think it'd be a great Christmas present. Think that would be. So that's where we're headed. Don't know if we're going to hit that. He's asking for some more stuff, asked for some stuff today. We're trying to get him, but hope to have that. But after that's done, I've already got the next video that I'm wanting to do. And it's going to have, I'd like to have Forrest do this one. And this one is going to be strictly Nathan Bedford Forrest at the Forrest Boyhood Home. It's going to be here. It's going to be your daddy walking around as Forrest. And, the camera's kind of first person. And, the camera's going to be walking around, walking the grounds. And your daddy would be narrating what Forrest himself saw. So that's what I'm writing now. I think it's decent. I'm not sure yet. I've got to think about it some more. But then I was asked about doing a few just audio commercials. And I was going to get your daddy to do those. I pretty much have those ready. They're not videos. They're just going to be like 15-second, 30-second commercials that can be sent out, because we haven't really done those in a while. And, just get your daddy, because your daddy Forrest Dawes has that voice. And I would be remiss in my duties if I did not take full advantage of Forrest Dawes in that voice. And so I'll be leaning on him within the next year to get some of this done. Yeah.
He really loves doing it too. And I've messed with my dad about it. When I come home, those that don't know, I live about 4 hours from my father now. And so these past 4 years, I get to see him every now and then. But every time I see him, I call him the voice of the Confederation.
Well,
and he does have that deep, commanding voice. I should know that voice raised me.
Yes.
I've never been so happy and proud, just to hear that come over the screen, because I didn't know for a bit. And then when I did know, I didn't get to see the video until I believe maybe the week before we showed it on the show. And I remember calling my dad right up, and I was like, "Yo, you lucky." And me and him laughed for a minute and talked. And he loved doing it.
I just have one request. Can you work in the phrase "Hello, darling" in any of your scripts?
I would like to. If you want to get down to it, okay, I'm going to put Easter eggs in all of these videos, and it is going these Easter eggs. All they're going to be is, Conway Twitty, and to actually hear your daddy do that is just awesome. It really is. But yes, I'll try to work that in. I don't know how I can get Nathan Bedford Forrest saying that.
Say hello, darling.
You need somebody dressed up as Mary Ann.
Yes. It's but your dad is actually people talk about doing t-shirts. There's a t-shirt I would like to do with something your daddy said. And it is in the first part of that video. You played the second part, which was just the museum. But in the house, when he says, if walls could talk. And that's the way I want to do it. If walls could talk, TAWK. To me, that'd just be perfect. It'd be the perfect Forrest Dawes deal. So that's something I'll always remember. So,
He's texting me right now, my dad.
He's what now?
My dad's texting me right now.
Yeah, well, you can tell him I'm talking about him. And I've got some work for him to do, which I'll be getting him shortly. And as soon as we get past the DVD and we get the DVD out there of the forest reinterment, we're going to start rolling on that. Like I said, I talked to the guy that's putting them together today, and we're getting him a couple more things. So leading to that, I'd like to talk a little bit about the two more things you can help, and that is Friends of the Museum and the Friends of Elm Springs. The Friends of Elm Springs is just strictly raising money for the house. You join that, and you can also, it's under forms and documents. It's all of this is out there under scv.org. If not, we'll go ahead and get it pushed back out there. Maybe get it put back out there. Here you go. There's all these different levels you can join. And the money from this strictly is going to help preserve, maintain, and improve the home, the antebellum home of which that is Elm Springs, started in 1835, finished in 1837. It has been our general headquarters since 1991. So that's out there. Then there is Friends of the Museum, and the monies from that are strictly going to go to any little projects we need to do as far as fixing anything at the museum, maybe for some artifacts, maybe to help go for lights and light fixtures. There's things that we're always needing to do, and it's our place. I mean, you can't let our home date itself. We have to improve it. We have to keep it changing. And these are also opportunities that you can do. You do get a newsletter. In the past, that newsletter has been coming from our executive director, a fellow by the name of Adam Southern. A few of y'all might have met on here before. I'll start doing those with him to kind of help him. I could let you take my flag down, but I won't. Yeah, that's another little deal. Cross my arms. That's where the T-Rex deal come from, but that's I'll let somebody else tell that story. This is an opportunity for people that want to get involved. People talk about wanting to do things, but if you want to do it, come on, let's do it. This is an opportunity if you want to be able to contribute to the house. You can contribute to the house. If you want to support the museum, you can. You want to remember your ancestor, you can. Y'all look like y'all having a lot of fun behind there. Y'all are really trying to contain some laughing. So go ahead, let it go.
That Carl thing got me. It got me. And then when you said it in that sarcastic voice, that's it on me. I'm good.
Yo,
yeah, that's it.
I was working. I had no idea. And then I look down, I see Carl's comment, and then I look and I see Connor's face, and then I heard you, and I was done.
Cross them little T-Rex arms.
I could, but I won't.
Next T-shirt. Yeah. Next T-shirt is a picture of Jason as a T-Rex.
I do have to go to Victory Flags and more tomorrow. So,
well,
that's SCV chat T-shirt.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you can wear that to a reunion.
Hmm.
I can get one made. I used to make and sell T-shirts.
Oh, okay.
So I can get a couple of J-Bo the T-Rex Army of Tennessee mascot made.
Yeah. I went walking into the Army meeting, and next thing I know, they start a conversation about me becoming a mascot.
That was Jimmy Hill and Joey No One.
All I can say is I walk in and I'm getting made a mascot. I was flattered. Then they say, "What we're going to do it as?" And then we're going to do a T-Rex. Because as it was said, I folded my little T-Rex arms across my big old belly. And I said I could, but I won't.
I think I was there at that GEC meeting.
Yeah. Well, we have these moments, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Thank you for that, Carl. Thank you for that. Now a lot of people know where that inside joke come from. It's only about 5 years old now, something like that.
It's older than that.
That makes it so much better. If I'm stuck with Moose, can we call Jason our Lieutenant Commander in Chief the Rex?
No, he's J-Bo. Jimmy, I did not make that suggestion. I was there to promote the chat and represent my division.
I could be mean and say I sat beside Connor the whole time, J-Bo, and I heard some things.
Well, all I know is I walk in and I'm leaned against the post and I hear that we're going to have a mascot. And I think, hey, that's a good thing. That's something I wish I had thought of. Yeah. Jason Boshears is going to be the mascot, and we're going to use a T-Rex. Okay.
I'm making that T-shirt. I'm bringing it to the Army of Tennessee meeting in Nashville.
Okay.
All right.
We will. Something else I like to get talking to. We're actually approaching our hour's time. I'm aware of the time, so I'll move this along. People have asked if I was fixing to do something, and I hesitated about making any kind of announcement. And the reason why I hesitated about making any kind of announcement was because of the forestry internment. If I had made an announcement before that and things did not go well, I was going to save this organization and myself the embarrassment. This organization is above any one person. It takes all of us to make up this organization. And I'm not above this organization. And if I made a mistake or something went wrong or something bad happened, then I was going to save our corporation, our company, our heart and home, the embarrassment. I do know that a few people have contacted me and they did not like some of the things that happened at the forestry internment. But all in all, I think that it was a success. It feels like it was a success. We buried Nathan Bedford Forrest and his wife without incident. And then we got past that, and I have had several other conversations with people on what I should do and what I should not do, because we are headed, we have a lot of work ahead of us. We have a museum that we have to pay for. It's ours. We have to pay for it. We have artifacts that we need to put in the museum. We have our ancestors that we have to. We took this charge, and there's our ancestors that we have to think about. We have to memorialize, And as we know that a lot of people say we are the lowest hanging fruit on the branch. That's the reason why they've come after us so much. We're also the sweetest fruit on the vine. And that is the reason why that they need us gone, because we are the last guard. I have listened to the Kennedy brothers a number of times, and I've heard the Kennedy brothers say that we're 1 or 2 generations from losing everything. Well, if you see some of the chaos and absurdities that go on out there that none of us with a brain can explain, you understand why the Kennedy brothers say what they do. But it has to tell you a job. There's a difference between the position and the job. Someone might be able to take the position, but if they will not do the job, whether it is a camp chaplain, a division adjutant, or a division commander, or a lieutenant commander in chief, or an army councilman or commander, we all have a obligation. If we take the position, we must do the job. And am I qualified for the job was the question that I asked several people. Based off the words that I am hearing and based off the way that I feel, I know the road uphill is a long uphill road, but I would like at this time to announce my candidacy for Commander-in-Chief.
Well, speaking on behalf of myself, not speaking for any division, brigade, camps, other subsidiary, myself, you have my full support. You've had my full support since I went across, I can't remember what we're leaning against, but in that cemetery in Tennessee, and I said that I think you were the man for the job. You've had my support since then, and you've got it now.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I know what's ahead of us somewhat, because I know it's going to change between now and then. Good Lord, we could wake up in the morning and we have a completely different environment. Who would have ever thought 10 years ago would be in the environment that we're all in right now? But we are, and we're here, and we must do the job that is ahead of us. And my intent is to do the very best job that I could do for this organization. And it is not a position. It is a job. It is not a job that I take lightly. And it is a job that I firmly believe in doing to the best of my ability. So if you see fit to back me on this and support me on this, thank you. If you don't, I want you to know that I respect you, and I respect your right to not back me on this. But I will ask you for one kindness, and that is to look me in the eye and tell me, without calling me everything but a Singer sewing machine, why you do not think that I'm the man for the job. But be that as it may, I'd like to be your next Commander-in-Chief. But the decision is ultimately the membership's decision, not mine. That's it.
Well, the membership's definitely speaking now. I don't know if you're seeing the comments that are flooding in, but they're flooding in. Like I said, you've had my support since, when was that?
2015.
15.
Mm-hmm.
You've had it since then. You've got it now. There's nobody who I would trust more, just myself speaking, in continue on with the progress that we've made in this organization over the past 4 years than I would say with you.
Well, let's talk about the progress we made with this little project that was y'all two's brainchild.
Well,
yeah. But wait a minute. I announced here.
Yeah.
You haven't seen a Facebook post, have you?
No.
Because I hadn't done one. I come on here. Now, yes, I'm going to end up putting it on Facebook. I'm going to end up having a Facebook page for it. I'm going to put it on the Telegraph. But I came here. And that's because I believe in this. When y'all came to me with this, and y'all two came to me with this, and I've given y'all full credit. I just said, I think that's a great idea. Why don't y'all do it? That was the only part that I've played in this. And this is where that I wanted to come do it. This is where it needed to happen. This is part of our future. It's the old ways of doing things. They're still relevant in some cases, but we still have to embrace what is out there, and this is how we do it. And I want to thank y'all for giving me the opportunity to come on here and make the announcement. I did not tell y'all what I was going to say. I just told y'all that I was going to come on here and make an announcement. But this tells you that I believe in what y'all are doing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we appreciate it. Yeah, we believe, you let us off our leash and we're doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
I'd say 100 and, the end of this month marks 1 year of us on Facebook, and 123.5K reaches is pretty good for one calendar year.
Yes. And y'all got my support on this. There was people have asked, how come that you're not on there anymore? Well, it's I saw what Connor and Moose here were doing. They needed to run with this. This was their baby. This was their brainchild. I'm thrilled that I had a part in help kicking it off and getting it going. But there just come a time, this was y'all's baby, and y'all needed to raise it. And y'all were coming up with the great programs. You were bringing people on. There wasn't a need for me to be on unless you needed me to be on. And y'all knew I was there for support. Y'all have asked me to come on, and I come on. But, let y'all do this show. This was y'all's baby. And I think it's been a great one. That's the reason why I come on here to make the announcement. You heard it here first on SCV Chat. So
all of our chat heads that are still watching, go and share this episode so that everybody in the Confederation can see it before he puts out his Facebook post. But share it, like it. We appreciate you coming on, J-Bo. We appreciate you choosing to use SCV Chat as your news breaking source.
We've done it a bunch of times. Think of how many times we've come on here, and this is the first place you heard it.
Yeah, exactly. That was kind of the premise of it.
Yes, getting it out there real time.
But we appreciate it. Couple of things as we wrap up the night. One thing that we meant to mention at the top end of the show, but I forgot. I didn't have it in my notes. There's this little thing coming up in February that I'm assuming J-Bo is going to try to be at. If you want to corner him and talk to him, and that is the SD Lee Institute. That is bringing it up, Moose.
Yeah.
The 2020 Stephen D. Lee Institute will be held February 18th through 19th at Beauvoir, the last home of President Jefferson Davis in Biloxi, Mississippi. The website is up and should be taking registrations now. At least that's the last thing I got from Chuck McMichael saying that it was up. So yes, he's saying that it is. So yes. Go and if you go on the SCV's website, if you pull down into the resources page, you will see the link to the SD Lee Institute. It'll have information on there about who's speaking and how to register and everything like that. Or go to StephenDLeeInstitute.com. That's all spelled out. That's StephenDLeeInstitute.com, and you should be able to get there and review on how to get in. Now, J-Bo, before you said all this heartfelt stuff, we had a feeling that we knew what you were going to talk about. We had a hunch.
Okay.
and we created this in light of just remember we created this because we love you.
Before
Yeah.
I want
I
to
love you and you mean the world to me, but I have something to tell you, and I can only go on Springer to tell you. Yeah.
I can't think of a better person for the job. I'm still banned from commenting with my SCV chat page, and I was trying to show you support in the chat, but it wouldn't let me. But I've made a friendship with you and everybody else that will last a lifetime for me. Y'all have really helped me take this new SCV life, I guess I call it, and take it in strides. And I couldn't think of a better person for the job. And me personally, Moose Harrison, will be supporting my SCV dad in the upcoming election for CiC. What are you changing it to?
I'm trying to find where the video is.
I have the video.
Okay. Well, we made you a little campaign ad. Remember, we love you.
Love you too. Really mean it this time.
This is one of those things where you kind of have to be like, I'm sorry, but I love you.
Yeah.
Connor,
okay.
Mute everybody but me before the video.
All right.
Are we coming back?
Oh, yes, sir. We are. I just have to have everybody muted.
Yeah, that was the Jurassic Park theme.
I was trying so hard.
He's still muted. He's still muted. Hold on.
Yeah, I love y'all too. You know, it
trying so hard not to laugh because you had to have my volume playing to hear the theme, and I knew that. So I was giving it my all not to break as Connor was laughing, and you were giving us a look behind the scenes.
Okay. All right.
I told you that picture. I told you that picture would make an appearance on SCV chat.
Yeah, all I'm going to, you actually did tell me that picture was going to do it. All I can do is I'm going to name that T-Rex Brandon, and I'm going to say, let's go, Brandon. Hey,
so much.
I might as well ride the T-Rex with this.
Oh, that just went through my nose, Jabo.
Oh, we wouldn't do it if we knew you weren't a good sport, and if you knew we didn't love you, we wouldn't have done that. But.
Okay. Just remember, I sometimes pay people back.
Oh, I know.
Sometimes.
I'm prepared. If you go back and look at the handle, that's my TikTok handle on that. I take full credit. I just couldn't figure out how to do it, and I ordered Moose to do it. So
okay,
pay me back, not Moose.
Yeah, no, my name has already been legally changed to Moose, so I know. I mean, can it really get more worse than that?
Hey,
ride the T-Rex with pride. Yep,
you got a new campaign slogan.
That's your campaign slogan.
Yeah. Hey, let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. That's what that T-Rex's name is.
Anyway, guys, well, we appreciate you coming on, Jabo, and doing that. We appreciate everybody for watching. We'll be back on Wednesday with one of our reruns. We may rerun this episode. We may not. Who knows? It's up to Moose. That's Moose's thing. We do have Look Around the Confederation this Thursday. Anything special on Look Around you know of, Harrison?
I'm working on I got 2 special guests coming on these next couple weeks. I'm just trying to figure out the scheduling of these 2 guests. One of them I know is good for either week, and I'm contacting the person right now, actually. But tune in. I will be posting about the news Tuesday on the SCV chat page. So if you're wanting to know what we're going to be doing, please check the chat on Tuesday.
Because J-Bo knows how good we are with our scheduling.
Yeah, poor J-Bo.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
Just kind of roll with it. Just kind of roll with it.
Basically, the whole motto of SCV chat is just roll with it.
Just roll. Hey, red or frop.
Yeah,
I mean,
red or
that's
frop,
just.
man.
What else? What else can you say? It's like Gunnery Sergeant Highway said: improvise, adapt, and overcome.
You
That's all
got
you
that
can
right.
do. But until next week, we're going to sign off here with the words of the late great Harold Philpotts. Remember to buy a brick and paver. Get on that. Christmas is right around the corner. And remember, no matter what, no FUMAR in the elevator.
No FUMAR in the elevator. Red or frop, fellas.